So many of you guys are watching all the big names on YouTube. Alex Hormozi, Iman Gadzhi, Stephen Bartlett, Charlie Morgan, blah, 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 all these people. But you haven't started your business. And if you have started your business, you're not executing at a level that is consistent with what you actually should to actually make money. If you don't know who I am, my name is Hadi Sulman. I've been an entrepreneur for about 13 years at this point. And for most of my entrepreneurial journey, I didn't execute. I didn't do enough volume for me to actually get anywhere. So I was about 13 years old. I was clearing about $1,300 a day because I didn't know what I was doing, but I was selling masks and COVID, so obviously I was making a shitload of money. Then I started a bunch of failed businesses until I started this one, Compass. Stuck to it for more than a year without any sort of fruition. Now we've worked with multiple Y Combinator CEOs. We've worked with 100 plus entrepreneurs, and I can actually keep the lights open, and I can afford this pen right here. So again, like, I don't say this to brag. I have this fancy timer here too, so I'm fucking rich. I'm just saying this to tell you that I know what the fuck I'm talking about. All the people that tell you about fancy tactics, fancy strategies, tell you that you need all this information, or you need to buy this course, or you need to, pick this certain vehicle, or you need to start a school community, or no, don't start a school community, start an agency, or start selling digital products. They don't understand what business truly is. I'm about to explain to you what business is, and it took me so many years to realize this. I've paid, more than $20, $30, $40, $50,000 to gurus for courses, coaching, and consulting. And I'm about to tell you what business is in the simplest way, okay? You got this person here, okay? And you got another person here. But here's the thing. They're the same person, okay? Right here, this person's happy. This person's sad, okay? In order for this person to go from sad to happy, you got to solve a problem. Okay, so let's say that this person is, lazy, unfocused. Might be somebody They're not executing on the constraint of the business, right? They keep procrastinating the most important tasks, right? Procrastinating, blah blah blah. And here you have this person here. They're an execution machine. Not that type of execution. We're not talking about the guillotine. They're an execution machine. They never procrastinate. So procrastination, I got to write this whole thing out, don't I? Is no longer there, right? And they're basically focused, right? How do you get somebody from point A to point B? Now, this problem, like, business fundamentally is just solving a damn problem. The more valuable the problem is that you solve, the more money you'll be able to charge. So this is what you do, right? You look for somebody. So the first thing you got to do is you got to pick a market, which is basically who are you going to solve this problem for? So again, the person that we're talking about here has got to have budget, maybe there's a D in budget, authority, need, timing. So again, they got to have the money to pay to you, so cash. They got to have the ability to make decisions, right? So if you sell to minors and you got to ask their parents, then you got to be selling to the parents, not to the kids. They got to have a need. So again, they actually need to have the problem that you solve. It's got to be the right time for you to solve that problem for them. Pretty simple, right? BANT. This is a pretty fundamental concept. This is what you do, okay? This is fundamentally how you market. This is how you sell. Remember that graph, that little person that I made. So again, this is happy. This is sad, right? You basically lay out every single thing it takes for them to get from point A to point B. You build what we like to call in the business world. Let me grab this. Let's see if this fancy thing works. Oh, look at that. You basically need to have an offer. An offer is not a single thing. Okay, an offer is a complete solution to a problem. It takes your prospect from point A to point B. So you basically have all the things that you do. So we'll identify the constraint, right? We'll eliminate everything using this, right? Using software. Let's give you an example. So we'll eliminate YouTube, eliminate TikTok, eliminate all your distractions, and then we'll, keep you accountable live, right? So somebody will literally, make sure that you're always working. And this is how you turn into an execution machine until you build the habits, so on and so forth. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is an offer. Okay, so this is what you offer. Now your offer has to be relevant to one of three things. Okay, this is very important: health, wealth, or relationships. Okay, so again, don't try to do both. Don't try to do all three. Don't say, oh, if I help you lose weight, not only will your health be better, but your relationships will also be better. No, pick one. Okay. Again, it becomes very hard when you're trying to target different messaging, right? So for example, here, like I'm solving this problem. Let's say I'm doing it for entrepreneurs, right? So I tell them, hey, if you do this, you're going to make an extra 30 to 50 grand because you'll actually be executing 10 times faster than you are now. Again, this is the current offer that we have. So again, we pick one. So you pick why they would want to get here, right? Whether it's for their health, for their wealth, or for their relationships. And then you show them the path. That is your offer. And then this is what sales is. What sales is, it's basically a process of education, right? You're educating the prospect from how they get from point A to point B, right? So you basically tell them about literally everything. So again, we said there was, identifying, eliminating, accountability. You show them all the path, all the steps that it takes to actually get to that point. So again, here they're sad, here they're happy. You show them every single step, A, B, C, D. And then you either do it for them, do it with them, or you do it easier or faster. Okay? So again, done for you, done with you, easier or faster. It's literally it. Okay? Show them a clear path from A to B, right? Link it to either health, wealth, or relationships, preferably wealth, because then you'll be able to charge however much money you'll be making them. So let's say that, you help an entrepreneur. Well, let me give you a niche example. There's this company called Optimability. Okay, and Optimability basically does a few things. They have a chef, they have a cleaner, and I think like a house manager or something like that. So they basically go to rich people and they say, hey, let me get you a chef, let me get you a cleaner, and let me get you a house manager. And this will basically save you time so you'll be able to make more money. Right? And they show a clear path. They're like, hey, listen, right now, you're doing your own laundry. You're, making your own food, right? You're doing all this stuff and it's taking you, let's say 30 hours per week. If you're a rich dude, let's say you make like, $300 an hour. How much is that? 300 times 30, that's $9,000. Every single month, you're down $9,000 because you're doing all this stuff yourself. So how about you outsource it for $25 or $20 an hour, right? And then you get $9,000 back. That's a pretty good deal. Again, they show you a clear path. They're like, hey, you're sad now. You're losing 30 hours a month, right? Or whatever it is, to doing all this dumb shit. Now you can hire somebody and they can do it for you for $20 an hour. And now here you're happy, right? You got more money. So what did they do? Again, they educated the prospect. They're like, hey, this is how we do everything. We'll do it done for you. We're going to hire that person for you. They linked it to wealth. They were like, hey, you're going to make more money if you do this. That's what an offer is, right? I will add, again, I'll give you guys a simple framework that you can follow for an offer. Again, I'm trying to provide a lot of value here. I call this the TOR framework. T is time. How much time will it take? Outcome. What outcome will they get? Risk. How are you going to reverse the risk for them? And effort. Like, how little effort are they going to have to put in? So again, if I wanted to make an offer for Optimability, it would be this. Give me 14 days and I will get you, again, 30 plus hours back so you can make, 50 to 100 grand more. And, if I'm not able to do it, like, guaranteed, let's say guaranteed, right? So again, I'm contractually obligated to get you this result, or I'll give you your money back and you don't have to lift a finger because it's all done for you. That right there, it's an offer. So again, they educate the prospect. They show them a clear outcome of what they do. Again, it's a complete solution. They hire the house manager, hire the cleaner, hire the chef, so on and so forth. And they picked a person that had money, that had the ability to make the decision, actually had the need for the solution that they were providing, and it was the right time for them to do so. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's literally what business is. You pick a problem to solve, list out all the steps, and then pick somebody who that problem is actually worth solving for, educate them on it, and then either do it done for you, done with you, easier or faster. Ciao.